what institutional changes do you believe are necessary to support and promote women in neurology? And are there things you've seen in your department or other departments that have been successful in creating a more inclusive, a more empowering, and a more effective environment?
Well, I think globally, I could say, certainly within the United States, there continues to be salary inequity. The Academy does a productivity and compensation survey every 2 years. And there was a paper published in 2022 from the data from 2019. So it's a little outdated. But that study confirmed that women made about 10.9% less than men. So, in terms of institutional policies, what we've done at the Health Science Center is now salaries are very transparent. They're based on median national benchmarks. The AAMC is what we use. And if you're an assistant professor in neurology, you know what your salary is going to be because we're using that median benchmark. So I think trying to level set salaries and being very transparent about where those numbers are coming from, hopefully will minimize that challenge.
What I also find important in order to attract more women into neurology or into women leadership positions is to make it easier for people who choose a part-time work career to actually facilitate that and give them a real career. Sometimes I feel that part-time physicians, and especially female part-time physicians, are kind of parked on the side. They're allowed to see patients on a few days, but they're really not part of the academic faculty, and that really needs to change. So, for example, at my institution, we have a modified clinical track for part-time providers so that promotion is still feasible, but also within range, right? So that you don't get stuck at assistant professor and essentially get penalized for having a family and wanting time for your family, but also still wanting to practice neurology. So I think that's something for women in leadership to really be vocal for and be advocates for their junior faculty to make part-time providers equivalent to full-time providers in the sense of their academic weight, if they choose so.
Yeah, and in our department chair makes it a point to meet with faculty across the board twice a year to discuss how you're doing as far as your activities towards promotion. So these are the promotion criteria. Where are you? What's the plan? Can we come up with a plan? And how you're going to use what you're doing in your day-to-day, capture data, and perhaps add to your list of activities so that you get promoted. So I have found that that's really helpful in general as a factor that has been instituted at my institution specifically.
I think another thing that we all recognize is that women are less likely to be invited to present at other institutions. And so one of the things that our Advancing Women in Neurology subcommittee did is we actually have a speakers list of women speakers on the website. So if at your institution you wanted to invite someone to speak, you can actually look at the list and all of the what they feel comfortable talking about is listed. You can actually, click on links if they've given the presentation before. But it's just another way to promote women, not only within your own institution, but within other institutions. Because as we all know, to be promoted, you have to show national recognition, at least at a professor level. And so that means you have to speak at other institutions. So this is a way to try to help women support women in terms of offering them opportunities to speak.